Hey, welcome. So today, we're going to tear apart a phrase that so many of us use probably every single week: church service. But what if its real meaning has almost nothing to do with a Sunday morning meeting and everything to do with a working, breathing system of social care? Let's dig in.
So, to kick things off, the source material just drops this bomb of a question on us. Are we using the words church service in vain? I mean, wow, that's a pretty bold way to start. And it really forces you to stop and think about a phrase we usually say on autopilot.
Okay, so let's get real for a second. When you actually hear that phrase, what pops into your head? What service, like what actual benefit is being provided? For most of us, I think the answers tend to be, well, a little abstract, more on the spiritual side.
And yeah, those answers usually look a lot like this, right? You might say you received some hope or got some emotional nourishment, maybe some great fellowship. And hey, those things are all amazing. They're absolutely valuable. But what if there's a much deeper, more functional layer to this that we're completely missing?
To get to that deeper layer, we have to do the one thing that always helps. We have to go back to basics. We've got to break down the two words that make up the entire phrase: church and service.
All right, let's start with service. Now look at this definition from Webster's. It's labor performed for the benefit of another. The key words here are labor and performed. This isn't passive. It's not about what you get. It's about active work you do for someone else.
And then we have the word church. You know, the original Greek word ecclesia has nothing to do with a building with a steeple. It actually means the called out. It refers to a specific group of people who have been called out from the general population for a purpose. So you see, it's not a place you go to, it's a people you're a part of. Okay, so now let's mash those two definitions together. Church service suddenly transforms into something way more active. Labor for the benefit of others, performed by the called out. Doesn't that sound less like a Sunday morning event and way more like a job description? A mission for a specific group of people to actively help their community? Now hold on, because this is where it gets really interesting. To wrap our heads around the sheer scale of what this kind of service could look like, the source makes a really unexpected comparison. Let's look at another group that's designed to provide services to people: a government. Just look at this. A government provides real, tangible, life-changing support. We're talking financial aid, health benefits, resources for jobs and education. This is the stuff that forms a society's safety net. It's concrete, it's measurable, and for many, it's absolutely essential.
Okay, so seeing that list kind of puts things in perspective, doesn't it? It brings us right back to our big question, but now it has some teeth. When we see what a state can do, we have to ask, what tangible, life-sustaining service is the church, the called out, actually providing? How does it stack up?
But here's the crucial twist. There is a massive, fundamental difference in how these two systems work. It all comes down to what powers them. The state runs on forced offerings, we call them taxes, and it's based on duty, on compulsion. But the church? It's designed to run on free will offerings. It's based on love, and most importantly, on individual choice.
So you see, this isn't really just about comparing two groups. This highlights two totally different ways to build a society. One model is based on force, and the other is built entirely on voluntary love and compassion.
And the source material connects this idea directly to what it calls a brand new type of governance, a system where no one is ruling over anyone else, but where people are motivated to act because of a change deep inside them. And that brings us to the big idea, the main takeaway of this whole thing. What if church service is really supposed to be a kind of government of God? And I don't mean that in a political way. I mean a practical, working system of care for the needy, a true social safety net that is powered entirely by the free will choices of people acting out of love.
And that just leaves us with one last, incredibly powerful question. If this whole system of care, this entire safety net, depends completely on personal, voluntary choice, then the only question that really matters is the one we have to ask ourselves. Who are we choosing to serve?